will tell you exactly how that happened. What's up, everybody? I'm flying solo, of course, tonight for the Atomic Bear Show. That intro was a little weird. I was trying to nail it and then do the things with the controls. But y'all know how we do things at the Atomic Bear Show. But what's up, Kira? We got a fun episode that we're going to be doing tonight. Well, fun, it's just going to be a little bit interesting. I don't know if anybody has done, an actual show about this. And me and Jeff were talking yesterday, and he kind of threw the idea at me. And he was even saying exactly what I said at the beginning of the show. Man, did you know that there's, 600 something thousand people that are already bugging out? And I'm like, man, what are you talking about? But the homeless factor is kind of what we're going to talk about tonight. And if we can, if y'all like it, we have a big part 2 that might be coming. But what's up, everybody? Sorry that I have been MIA the past 2 weeks. That was definitely my fault last week, for sure. And then the week before that, at least I can blame that one on my internet provider. But we got Big Jeff with us tonight, who definitely has been holding the fort down lately. But what's up, everybody? What's up, Jenny? What is up, FBI? What up, Big Richard? What you up to? Monica. And Big Redneck is in the house. A Tesser. What is up, everybody? Hope you're having a good Thursday. I'll quit rambling and bring in the main man, Jeff, and we will get into it. Now, y'all let me know if there's any problems with sound, if there's any problems with buffering, blah, 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 blah. Let's bring in Jeff and see what he's been up to this week. What you been up to, man?
Hey, Matt. Hey, everybody. I'm glad to see our fans are always there every week, and it's awesome. Well, this week has been a bit of a very interesting week. One thing that I want to mention is my girlfriend is an entrepreneur as well, and we're not working the same business. And she's now she visited a jail in Los Angeles to help some of the inmates to work out their business for when they're gonna get out of the jail. So she hasn't told me how it went, but it's a full security jail, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So it must have been a bit scary for her. I've never been to a high security jail either, right? Yeah. Fortunately enough. So that's cool. And there's a cool product I've been working on in the last few months. And this is a belt. Whoa! A tactical belt with an awesome buckle. And to be honest, I've been wearing this for 6 months, testing it. We went through different prototype, and this one is ready to go.
Cool.
So it's a tactical belt, not ready to sell right now, but it's in production. So that's another thing that is happening at the Atomic Bear. So we always thinking of new things that people want, people need. And this one, I love it. I wear it every day. And it's cool. So that's what's happening on my end.
Well, man, that's awesome. You sprung that one on me. I didn't even know you were working on the belt. But I'll tell you something funny. Whenever you were saying what you were saying, the way that I first heard it, you were like, and my girlfriend, blah, 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 she's in jail over at the, and I'm like, wait, I know I didn't hear that right. So, man, hey, maybe we can get her on the show. We'll just get her on the phone. But,
yeah.
Jeff, man, how's it up there, dude? How's we won't do much weather talk because I just thought about how boring weather talk is, but is it still cold up there, man?
It's getting better. Today was a bit warm, but it's been the worst month of March ever that I can recall. It's been cold. It's been snowing. It's been raining. It's been terrible. So I cannot wait for winter to go.
Yeah.
And summer to come. It's just insane. But that's the way. We don't decide these things. And as long as we don't have hurricanes, earthquake, everything is good.
Cool, man. I won't even tell you about the weather then down here for March, because dude, it's been nice. And then it's gonna get blazing hot, and then it'll be miserable. But what's up, everybody? A Tesser, what up, Brandon? Eugene, what you been up to, Eugene? That has to be scary going into jail. Oh yeah, that was from Jenny. I bet. Yeah. Have you talked to her since she's done it, or you hadn't?
No, no, she has not talked to me, but she was allowed to only wear black and white, no blue, no metal bra or metal braces bra. Like they had a long list of very strict things. So she was like, "Oh, at least I have some clothes that will fit." But and it's pretty like no cell phone at all allowed, nothing. Like you just go there they were going to do a bit of like a Shark Tank. It's with the an organization that teach the people in jail that want to learn and are have a chance to get out eventually. I guess I don't know about the details. And there, she's going there to be a bit like an investor for as a Shark Tank per person. So it's going to be less stressful than being brought by force against your will.
Yeah.
But like when you're not used to it, I cannot imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And guys, if you want to stick around and listen to me and Jeff, and I know I need to go ahead and get into this thing because Jeff, he's I don't know, he sprung it on me yesterday, and I've kind of have got a few little points in, talking about the second show, but what he's going to be talking about today is actually it's just different. But if you want to stick around, we'll tell you how you can win one of these little pouches right here from the Atomic Bear, which I'll get into in a little bit. But guys, welcome to the show. Now, Jeff, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Now, what made you think of doing the homeless survival? Because that's actually thinking outside the box, when it comes to surviving, because people don't look at, okay, well, if you're homeless, like the homeless people, the homeless population, they have to survive every day, whether it's under a bridge or doing this, and then the climates that they're doing. What made you think of them?
Well, like I'm sure, guys, and I would like to hear everybody's stories in the chat. But I live in a small town. Small. There's about 3 million people living, so it's not a small town. It's a small city, I would say, compared to
Yeah.
to New York. And you guys in the States have those massive cities. But anyway, so compared to New York and Boston, this is a small town, small city, but still 3 million people. So downtown Montreal, I used to go there every day for work. And in the metro, I would take public transport, and in the metro, you always have people asking for money, and I always wonder, should I give them money? And then one day I just get out, and there's a guy who's, on the floor. He's not moving. Call the ambulance. Paramedics are ATAT when someone does that, but I did not know if the guy was still alive or not. Anyway, so being close to these people and also being interested, watching documentaries and trying to understand why they're there. And especially in our climate, when you're in the north, it's so cold in the winter. You wonder, how do these guys survive? How do they make it through winter without dying? Some die, it happens. That's very sad, unfortunate. So I just thought, hey, this is real, man. These guys have no home, so they had to leave home. At some point, they had a home. They're born in a home. Most of them, like they're born in a home or with a shelter and all that. Eventually, something happened in their life. They had to bug out, whatever it is. So we're thinking about massive shit at the fan type of events, and then we have to bug out. But think of like simple things. You cannot pay your rent. You lost your job, cannot pay your rent. You have to get out.
Yeah.
You're in a city where you have not much friends, family. You've got to make a choice there. How are you gonna survive, right? You can get sick, mentally sick. You can be suffering. Some people suffer from, family violence. So they get out, but they have nowhere to go, and eventually they end up in the street. There's so many reasons why these people had to bug out at some point. And now they bugged out, and they're trying to make it. And when I look at the stats, I was stunned. Like in Florida, for example, do you have like people or it must be a lot easier, I guess, in Florida than it is in Canada. But how is it? Like, do you have homeless people?
Yeah, and I guess we definitely need to keep this more of the survival side of the homeless thing, instead of just getting to the homeless debate. However, the down here, I guess because I'm right here at the beach, and there's always traffic coming through, especially during the summer. And I see the same people. Sorry, guys. It's my dad calling me, of all people. Anyway, so they had lost my train of thought. So we have all these people down here, but I'm not sure that a lot of them are actually homeless. And I know they're there all day and they don't, it's almost like a job for them. I know the same lady that's going to be sitting right here, and it's almost, and I was like, they got to make $60,000 a year, doing that, especially with the traffic. However, what me and you were talking about was I would like to go and interview them, find out whether are you a panhandler, are you a beggar, are you actually homeless? Because I guess when we think about bugging out and being homeless, one thing that I thought about was, if you think about homeless people, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're living under a bridge. You can live in your car, you could be in an RV, you could have a tent, and some of the things that I was thinking, okay, well, homeless, because that's a pretty big number. And then you go, okay, well, of course there is the extreme side, but then I think there's also the side that you were talking about, the people that, have lost their jobs, or, Vietnam vets, or just war vets in general.
Well, I can break the stats for you, Matt. Like,
yeah.
Like there's in 2017, there's 550,000 homeless people, like quote unquote homeless. Out of that, there's about a third of them that are, recurrent, like persistent homeless. They will stay homeless for more than a year or longer.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so it's not 600,000 ish, but it's still like 170-ish thousand ish. Then you will have, out of that, about 40,000 are veterans, officially veterans.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that these stats are approximate. There's nobody who is like numbering them, but they're trying to estimate that. And out of that, like, so there's all sort of reasons. But one thing that is interesting, if you spend some time looking at how they live, what they do, is the main challenge is to find shelter, right? And this is the same type of, challenge that we have if we have to go in the woods or anywhere else. We need to get shelter to control our body temperature. So they will have tarps, they will have tents, they will find containers, places where they get. Some people even live in the metro. They used to live in the metro. I don't know if it's even possible nowadays, but there's stories of even kids living in the metros, New York metro, in I think the 70s. So finding a shelter where you can have a control on not getting wet, not getting too cold, and then they use a lot of cardboard. So they will use boxes to just fill their shelter, and cardboard it can be used as an isolant. So they will do isolation with that. Some people will even have they will get into their cardboard and they will just be in the box like that. And if the box is a bit waxed, they're kind of protected. Although I'm not sure it's the best protection.
Yeah, I was going to say with cardboard, it's definitely. I probably would say that it's more of an insulation type thing, because in where I'm from, the old camps, they would have these school buses. They would gut out and make them into camp houses, and they would put the cardboards up, or little egg cartons and stuff. But for the insulation. However, I would think that it wouldn't really protect you much from the elements. Like, let's just say a heavy rainstorm came. Yeah. It might, for 30 minutes or so until it, caves in. But, there's a lot of times if they go to the shelters. Well, I know, some of the homeless people, they get kicked out of the shelters. They can't go back to those shelters. They're on the list. But there are shelters. I don't really know where any of them are, of course. And not that, but I'm sure there's shelters that you could go to if you were to ever bug out, and you become homeless. But whenever you think about it, what's your go-to, what's your number one deal? Let's just say right now you lost your job. What's your first thing that you're going to do?
Well, if I have to bug out, first I have 2 daughters, so that would be.
Shoot, I forgot about
that. So here's the deal.
Keep finishing. I didn't mean to
So the deal, the survival part of being out and being homeless is they have to use all the skills they have. They have to know how to get to stay warm, how to how do you say that, barter or exchange, do trade.
Oh, barter.
Goods.
Barter.
Yeah. Barter. They have to trade goods. They have these are massive skills. And if you think of like potential scenarios where there's a societal disruption and you have to survive. These skills that these guys are developing are the same skills you will need to make it. So this is what is happening right now, and you just learn from these guys. They have animals for protection. They why don't like some might have guns, but it's hard to have a gun, right? You run out of ammunition. It's something you can easily exchange for food or for something else.
I was
So
gonna
I guess they
say,
go fast,
I
right?
was gonna say if they had a gun, there's this old saying that like and I guess it's kind of off topic, but like crackheads, I don't know if that's what y'all call. What do y'all like people that are addicted to crack? They would always say, "Hey, be careful, that guy will shoot you." And you say, "Well, if he is addicted to drugs or any type of drugs, he would have already sold the gun to get
Yeah,
those drugs. So he definitely doesn't
yeah,
have, he'll try to fight you maybe. But yeah, I wonder what their, man, and it'd be cool to do the part two that me and you were talking about that would be
yeah.
more in depth. But let me ask you this. Did you hear, and this is one thing that I heard when I was kind of watching that video that you had sent me, was that a way that they would warm themselves up was to get like warm water, put it in the bottles, and then
Yeah.
I know it's kind of gross, but a lot of them would pee in like water bottles, screw the cap back on, of course, and put them, in the thing with them to try to get body heat.
Well, and this is something we can learn from them as well. Like the is it the survival dispatcher? Like try like this guy is a awesome is an awesome guy. I follow him on YouTube, but like he was just reporting like yeah, what you said the peanut like you want to like you've already warmed up that water in your bladder. You want to keep it near you and warm. Like
Yeah,
you may not be drinking it, but
yeah.
yet. But if you stalk in the woods, stalk somewhere where you're cold, definitely try to keep everything you can to keep you warm. And if you have something that is survival blankets, we sell survival blankets, a pack of four, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
cheap thing you get, and you can just wrap yourself in and keep your heat in. If you have a water bottle that is warm, if you have a bottle with pee, and you just
Yeah.
like keep inside, that could be helpful to get you through the night if you're in a survival situation. So, but these guys just learn to do it because they have no choice. They bring an animal in because the animal is also warm. So if you're in the spring or in the fall and it's cold, you get warm from the animal. Plus, you get protection. So in exchange for the need to feed the animal, which is
I
another
was
thing.
gonna,
But
I was gonna say yeah. With with them feeding the animal was gonna be my question. I guess you have to weigh your pros and cons with it. There was I guess they were doing, down where I'm from, there's a Highway 80, and you can just go for days on it. Well, if you look out the window, and there's a little dog. It looked like pulling their wagon, and these people came. Well, when they finally hit the city, it was written up in the newspaper that people rode by and they were worried about the dog, and they were being mean to making them pull the thing. And from what I saw, they did make the little, and it was just, I mean, it wasn't a big dog, but pull the thing. But I have seen people that use dogs, to try to
yeah,
make more money and stuff. And I'm trying to steer away from the
yeah.
homeless thing and think more survival types. But what else you got for us, man? Because I'm trying to keep it from steering into like the homeless
Well,
side of it.
no, but the homeless part of it is
Yeah,
interesting because learning like how societies see people who are different. Like,
yeah,
you know, homeless people have lost their house. They have nothing. Maybe they're addicts. Maybe they're not. They have definitely a problem where that is serious enough so they cannot find a home or live in a home. And a lot of the current society is saying, well, by the way, you are on our land. You don't have the right to stay here. So get away. And that's a challenge for them. And I'm not proposing any solution. But if you think of society disruption or problems between like a spot where a lot of people want to be because well, could be even places where there's a lot of deer to hunt. Like you just project yourself in a scenario, and these problems would come in. People would chase you out. How can you start living in community, helping each others? And if we would find a solution to the homeless, that would be a bit more constructive. Maybe that could instruct us about how to survive in the future. And although I unfortunately don't have the solution here tonight,
Right.
maybe some people have. Like, I love to hear you guys. What do you guys have any people in your or any homeless people in your small town, in your bigger town? I've read some comments like people saying we have a lot of young people in Florida that are homeless, which is very sad. So this is a problem, and how do they make it to survive? And obviously, we haven't studied that in great depth, but all the tricks. The dogs are super important because they can defend themselves with the dog. The dog can alert them while they're asleep. So basically, I would have a dog. You asking me, I have two kids. Let's say my kids are not there, but even if the kids were there, I would want to have a dog and try figure out a way to feed the dog because it's protection. And in the street, where the cops are not there, even if the cops are there, do they actually care about the homeless people? I'm not sure. You want something to protect yourself. You want to know self-defense. You want to be able to scare enough people so they don't even try to attack you. So, man, it's a topic, and I honestly think that it's easy to just look down to these people, but a lot of them were just like you and I, and something happened to them.
Right.
Either they got sick, they got gaming problems, they got all sorts of problems, and they went down a path where they haven't been able to get out. So it's something that I've been thinking about for a long time, and especially those guys who like veterans that are homeless. Like this is really heartbreaking, isn't
Yeah.
it? Because these guys, got injured, maybe not physically. A lot of them have been injured in their brain,
Yeah, the
just
mental
mentally.
health. Yeah, the mental health side of it is huge. Yeah.
It's huge. So uh, I mean, it's unfair in a sense, right? Anyway, so that's the homeless component. Now, surviving, like it's all about shelter, but I think the most important thing that I've that is to remember as well is having a network of people around you. So if you lose your home, you're not in a street. You
Yeah.
have someone who will welcome you while you're
Mm-hmm.
making it out, when you're fixing the problems. And even if you're in the streets, making friends, being able to make friends and be able to build that network, that community part. And I don't believe that people, if the shit it's a fan, that people will start killing each other. I think it's going to be the opposite. People will gather together and survive together.
Oh,
Well,
you
it
think
might not
so?
be like I think so.
Yeah.
I think there could be some fight, but um, at some point when it's survival, like you look at events where like people have been shot at and stuff like that, people a lot of times they get together and help each others to get out of some place or help each others to survive.
Oh yeah,
So
because there's no food. Or I mean, because everybody has food, they
yeah,
have shelter. But if nobody has food, nobody has shelter, or and it's
yeah,
survival, and you go
yeah,
look, like in your case, I got two daughters. The guy has food, and I don't have any food. What am I gonna do? I don't
yeah.
know. But of course, I go the
Well,
extreme route. With it,
yeah.
more the homeless. But
Well,
go ahead, go
that's a
ahead.
good
Yeah.
point. No, that's a good point. What I want to say is, yes, people will eventually fight, but when things settle a little bit, well, if it's terrible, like if there's no food for nobody, then everybody's gonna die anyway. But
Oh,
I mean,
you build
yeah,
a community, almost, and I hate to give this cheesy example, but like The Walking Dead, when they were in the
yeah,
prison, you know, they had their community. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, what do? You do this, you do that, and of course, there's strength in numbers. Is that kind of what you're getting
yes,
at?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's gonna be like peace and everybody's gonna be the
Right.
happiest, but I don't. I think even the Walking Dead is overplaying the war side and the fight side of things. But it has to be interesting as a show, so
For
they're
sure.
forgiven.
Yeah, and some tips. And if you were to happen to lose your job, God forbid, just something happened where you are out on the street. The guy, and what was his name again? The video that I watched.
Oh man, I need to find it. It's the survival dispatcher. Let me check.
Yeah. Well, while you're
Um,
checking it,
yeah,
the two things that really stuck was, a lot of people can go to, the Goodwills and get clothes. People donate clothes. but a lot of times they don't donate socks. So socks are
That's
really
a good.
important.
Yeah.
And then they were also saying, if you were to go to like a fast food restaurant, don't go steal all the napkins and the ketchup packages and the salt. But those are kind of some things, like if you need napkins, you need salt, and those two things kind of stuck in my head, from that video. And honestly, the reason why we're doing this kind of impromptu, just kind of off the cuff homeless thing is because me and Jeff have got an idea about going more in depth with this and strictly sticking to the survival side of it. Maybe going in,
Yeah.
because he's in Canada, I'm down here in Florida. I mean, and just thinking of the extremes, because he's got homeless folks, I got homeless folks. There's homeless folks everywhere, and looking at the numbers, I mean, it's either higher or lower, but that number is still insane.
Yeah.
And we're not going to dive into the drug problems and I mean, if that happens to come up, blah, blah, blah. But y'all let us know what y'all think about us, maybe, and it might not even be a show. It might just be something that me and Jeff kind of work on, to try to get their ideas on, okay, well, how do you survive? Okay, well, you do this. Well, what about this? Because it's hot down here. It gets super hot. Oh, Butch, I saw him in the comments earlier talking about Florida and anybody else down here. Y'all know how it gets. And then in the wintertime, up there where you're from, it gets freezing cold. So
Yeah.
the two extremes would be something to really get. But y'all let us know. There was somebody in here earlier, Jeff, that was saying, I think it was Phoenix, was saying that he was homeless by choice. Yeah,
Hmm.
as a young, later was homeless when my son was very young. Yeah, and homeless by choice. And it's almost, I saw something earlier today when we were kind of watching it, and there's not much stuff out there. But, a woman lives in her van, she's going to school and working, has got a daughter, and I don't know how
Well,
much of that was
some
due.
people want just to disconnect from society because
Yeah,
they just can't. Like you also see people like working like Manhattan, or downtown in the city, and they say, "Oh, I'm just fed up. I want to go at my small farm and live in the countryside and just be relaxed and not being stressed every day." And so a lot of people, some people actually don't want to obey by the rules and feel that they have to do some things to please others and please society and please their friends, their family, everything. So I've heard these stories as well in documentaries, but I don't think it's a majority of people. But yeah, some people are decide to do that. I want to know you guys. Like, I know exactly in what city you are right now. Like, and I know some of you, but in your city, do you encounter a lot of homeless? So I've read that the state with the highest rate of homeless people is California.
yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how you guys are, what are you guys are seeing around you, but it's definitely a in Montreal, there's everywhere in Canada we have like homeless in all big cities, and it's sad, but that's the way it is. But what you guys are experiencing, I'm very curious to know what's happening around you, and have a readout about in many states in the U.S. because this is there's not a lot of things out there about it. So it's interesting, always interesting to know.
Yeah.
Um, Another thing, yeah, so I want to mention some.
Oh,
Go ahead, Matt. You want to say something?
well, no, I was just going to mention, because you were saying there's not a lot of stuff out here. Oh, Richard was saying you should see the movie, the Florida Project movie. It's about a
Oh,
homeless people living in hotels here next to Disney. So, hmm, that might be something to go check out. I'm actually going to write that down because I will forget about it. But it is called the Florida Project movie. Project movie. Boom. So we might check that
nice.
out, Jeff, as we're doing it.
Yeah, we'll definitely look it up. We'll look it up. Thank you very much, Richard. And Richard is saying that he sees the homeless all the time in Central Florida, Lottery. Um, yeah.
Yeah, and old Phoenix talking about being homeless. Old Eugene, here in part of New York, live in a hotel. They put, okay, yeah. See, there is a lot of places where they try to put homeless people. but at some point, you know, are you really homeless? Like what are you doing? Or
Yeah.
and so it's kind of a hard thing. I remember, growing, man. Anyway, we'll stick to the survival side of it. We'll jump into the homeless stories, later on in the future. But of course, I can totally ramble with it. But
Hey,
appreciate
Matt.
everybody stopping by. Go ahead, Jeff. I know that you were talking about something. Go ahead.
Yeah, Matt. I just want to like it get back to the giveaway for this week. So this
Go.
pouch. Can you show it again on the screen? Do you have it around?
What's that?
Because the pouch, the individual first aid kit pouch, a giveaway
Oh,
for the week.
yeah. Bam. Got it
That guy, yeah.
right here. Boom. And then Jeff was saying, you just grab this? No, wait. How did you say do it?
Yeah, the top. The top. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's
Pull
a.
it.
I'm trying to pull the thing from this. Bam! Just like that.
Yeah.
And then somebody was saying, was it emergency first aid kit? You can make this thing whatever you want it to be. Jeff, y'all did a really good job on this pouch. No bullshit. This thing is actually really cool, man. And dude, and I call it a mini bug out bag, which I probably shouldn't. But what do you call this thing? Like, if you were just to look at it, what's the name for it for you?
Well, it's an individual first aid kit, so pouch.
Okay,
So
so you are
IFAC,
doing the first aid?
yeah, it's
Okay.
it's not only for first aid, but
Right.
it's designed for that.
Mhm.
And obviously, you can use it for anything you like. So it's basically a pouch that you carry on your backpack. There's a molly straps. It's a pouch that you can also carry on your belt, and or you can just like carry it the way you want to.
Mhm.
There's a nice Velcro in the front. It comes with a little patch that is the crust. But I used to put a flag on it or a moral patch or like whatever you want. Yeah, so it's pretty convenient. If you go for a hike, you can just put your survival things in there, like your little fire starting box if you have one, and maybe a knife and all the gear that you don't want to
Yeah.
put in your pockets. Put it in there, and you're good.
Yeah, man. This thing is and I hadn't. Well, I guess I don't really look for them, but having this thing is pretty cool. To throw some stuff in there, and I like how that Velcro comes off. So even if you want to slide things
Yeah.
down in it, and I'll give you an example. In case you want to carry your pen while you bug out for no reason at all. But bam, dude. But anyway, how can we win this thing, man?
So I just told you today, but because last week I actually announced it last week. We have created a group that is a closed group on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook and you like talking survival and you would like to share your knowledge, you like to with others. So it's a community thing. It's not like the business is going to interact with you guys, but not in a business way. It's going to be more of a we might ask you your opinion on new products and designs, and you can submit ideas. But the whole goal here is just like you have a problem building a bug out bag. You have what type of knife should I choose there, and the community is going to interact and help each others to make better decision and learn together. And as time goes, I will bring some content like from experts, mini courses and stuff like that. I'll make available in that community. It's a closed group, so you have to apply to be accepted. The group is called it's called Atomic Bear Elite. Atomic Bear Elite, and I'll actually post the name of the group in the Facebook video. So if you guys are on YouTube, I cannot easily post on YouTube right now, but you can go check it, or you go on Facebook and you search Atomic Bear Elite. Anybody who's going to join the group between now and next week. So last week I had about 10 people who just joined, and we give away 3 tactile pens to one person that was picked randomly in the group. So this week it's going to be a bit more open. We'll have one IFAC pouch given to one person amongst everybody who joined in the coming week. Now, what is interesting is if you refer someone, if you say, well, let's say your friends is like survival and wants to win and enters and ask to be accepted and put your name as the referral, you got 2 entries, so you have more chance to win. If you're already part of the group, you can bring some people who are interested in the subject and have a chance to win anyway. So from now to next Thursday, just enter the group Atomic Bear Elite on Facebook, and that will give you a chance to win the IFAC pouch, and probably more things in the future.
Yeah, and
I don't know if it was clear. Just guys, let me
Hey.
know if I was clear or not.
yeah, y'all let us know. Now, I know what questions that we might have, and again, guys, we're gonna be working through this thing for the people that don't have, Facebook accounts. I don't know how hard it is to create one, but like he was saying, go in there, join it. You got a chance to win. And Jeff, did you mention the and they might be in here right now, but somebody won 3 pins
Yeah.
last
Yeah,
week?
exactly. It's Amy Sariat. I don't know if yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Amy Sariat. I'm not sure pronouncing your name. Announce it on the Facebook page, but Amy Sariat got 3 tactical pins by the fact that she entered, and I was glad because these, like, you guys are amazing. You just go and do whatever is needed, and you guys also are very savvy and whatever. And like, I'm sure it's going to be a great group, so people can help each other, learn together, and it's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, and go ahead, man. Yeah.
No, sorry. I want to say it's closed. So anything you post in there is not seen by anybody outside. You have to be part of the group. You cannot share the thing outside the group. So it's really private. So that's the cool thing about it. I like that.
I'm telling everybody. So whatever y'all say, I'm sharing it all. No, but I tell you what's good about some of our fans in here. They will call us, or they don't necessarily call us on our BS, but I'm the first to tell you, I don't know what the heck I'm talking about with some things. And, when me and Jeff are doing the shows, we don't claim to be experts about anything.
No.
I'm a country boy. He is up there. What do you call yourself up there? I guess I would call myself from the country, but what do you... I don't want to say you're not a northerner. Like, what do you say?
Northerner?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
Well, fair enough. So, as y'all can tell, but there's a lot of people in there that's like, actually, boom, boom, boom. So, what's crazy is even reading these comments, man, I've learned so much just from people coming in here and doing this. So, guys, thanks for watching and putting up with mine and Jeff's show. But again, we have got some big plans for the future. And, the past 2 Wednesdays, we've had some good meetings. We're getting ideas, and we are listening to y'all. So if y'all have any ideas, definitely throw them at us. But Butch wants to know who won last week.
It's Amy Sariat.
Bam.
Yeah.
There you go. Michael says, why did you... I don't know that word. And then kick me out? Do you know Michael?
No.
I don't know, but hey, he might be talking to somebody else in the thing. Oh, Monica's in here. The bag is awesome by Phoenix. And then Nikki, what's up, Nikki? San Francisco has a much worse homeless problem. Most people never go to shelters or anything. Yeah, probably San Francisco might have the worst. And then there's is it in LA, Skid Row? I don't know. Have you ever heard about that up there in Canada?
No.
Yeah, check out Skid Row. But boom, the Great White North is what old Scott calls you. The Great White North. Just trying to join. Hopefully, I had a good answer for it. But Jeff, before we get out of here, man, do you got anything else to share with them?
Well, I would just say, guys, thank you very much for being there. If you like the show, and you're on YouTube, hit the bottom subscribe. Like, we just post good stuff, and you'll be notified when the show goes live, so we won't forget about it. If you're on Facebook, well, you can like the page. That is always a good thing because then you will have some posts from us. And if you don't like us anymore, just unlike it. It's easy. So no string attached. And if you're serious about being about survival, about preparedness, and you love chatting about tools, gear, and all that malarkey, all these things, please join our Atomic Bear Elite group on Facebook. I just post the link in the comments of the show. So you guys, thank you so much for being there. I wish you a good week. I wish you a great week, and be safe. Keep preparing. Keep thinking about what you can do to make your life and the life of your dear one safer and better.
Yeah.
So thank you for being there. Yeah.
For sure. And guys, before y'all leave, Jeff, even though he might not have brought it up, we do have something to give away for you. It is a special little guide. And all you have to do is go to theatomicbear.com/guide. Super simple. Let me show y'all what I'm looking at right here with the screen. Bam. So go to right up here, this says mysurvivalmastery.com/handbook. But all you got to do is go to theatomicbear.com/guide. It takes you to this right here and get your free handbook. 104 pages, mistakes to avoid, shelter, food supply, lethal weapons. Y'all know the whole thing. And guys, if you're new, make sure that you do hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube. I know that we are streaming on 3 YouTube channels, Facebook. We kind of cut out the Twitch and the Periscopes and all the other ones because it was just so much stuff rolling in. But appreciate you watching, guys. And Jeff, one more thing, man, before we get out of here. You got anything?
That's it. You did it all.
Man. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all watching the Atomic Bear Show. Again, I know this was a little impromptu, homeless survival thing, but I think the idea is really fascinating when Jeff kind of brought it up to me last night. And I think the more that we talk, it's going to get a little bit bigger and maybe into some more detail. So, again, if you join that closed, group chat, throw out some ideas, to Jeff. Jeff will relay them to me, and I'll shut them all down, of course. But, other than that, thanks for watching, guys. Y'all know where to find us. If you don't, we are right here every single Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central. We love you, and we will see you next week.